First of 5, breaking news on the pandemic front as reopening is about to reach a roadblock in our state, according to health leaders. Thank you for joining us. I'm Hannah Kim.
And I'm Aliana Gomez. Right now, the entire state is in phase 3 of Washington's roadmap to recovery. But at today's Department of Health press conference, experts say that could change as early as Monday.
Unfortunately, right now in our state, we're seeing an increase in disease activity. We are also starting to see an uptick even in hospitalizations. Fortunately, we have vaccinated a very large portion of our seniors, so that helps mitigate the effects of the disease increases a bit. However, when we look at our data, there are a handful of counties that are sort of at the threshold or above the threshold for case rates or hospitalizations, and there is a decent likelihood that a handful will potentially be moved back on Monday when we announce.
Health leaders are not willing to reveal which counties are most at risk of sliding back into phase 2, but one of the major thresholds is large counties cannot exceed 200 new cases per 100,000 people over 2 weeks. So to give you an example, this week leaders in Snohomish County raised concern because its new cases reached 121 per 100,000. Pierce County sits at 183 per 100,000 and King is at 177 per 100,000. And of course, a slide back to phase 2 would be devastating for businesses who would once again have to restrict the number of indoor customers to 25% capacity.
Health leaders are also sounding the alarm over a COVID variant that's now spreading among children.
The variant, commonly called the UK variant, has spread to nearly 750 schools in Minnesota alone. So what does it mean for our state? Well, state leaders don't believe it's a problem in Washington, at least at the moment.
And I've asked our group to specifically really pay attention to kids. Let's really do an analysis of all the kids coming through to see what variants and how prevalent it is. And like Dr. Shaw says, we're concerned about it. We're cautious about it. We're not seeing these big trends in kids right now in Washington State, but we are all over it, looking for it.
The biggest action schools and your family can take are continuing to follow preventive measures. Wear your mask, social distance, and wash your hands. And with variants spreading, the work to get shots into arms is reaching its fastest pace yet. More cities around the region are changing their online registrations to allow for all adults to find an appointment. So starting next Thursday, which is when all adults will become eligible for a vaccine in our state. We're posting clinics as we learn about them on our website at Q13FOX.com.
Meanwhile, new cases are still ticking up in our state, but so too are the amount of Washingtonians who are fully vaccinated. We've just learned that 20% or 1 in 5 people are now fully vaccinated in Washington. And the pace is even quicker around the Sound. 25% of King County residents, 13% of Pierce County, and 20% of Snohomish County residents are now fully vaccinated.